They always told me working night shifts at Walmart would be quiet. They didn't tell me about the man in the dairy cooler. My name's Samantha. I'm 20, and I work at a Walmart near Jackson, Alabama. It's one of those 24-hour supercenters out in the countryside, open all night, but barely anyone walks through the doors after midnight. I'd get assigned the overnight shift a lot, since I wasn't going to school full-time. 10 p.m. to 7 a.m., just me and a skeleton crew stocking shelves, folding clothes, and keeping the place from falling apart. Most nights, I didn't see another soul. Even the other workers were scattered across the building. That's why I wore earbuds. No one ever told me to take them out. That night started normal. I was folding jeans in the men's department around 11:30 when a guy walked up. He looked average, middle-aged, flannel shirt, just forgettable. He asked if we had a certain pair of jeans in a different size. I told him, "Whatever's on the rack is all we've got." He thanked me and walked off. Seemed normal, until he turned around. Our eyes met, just for a second, but it stuck with me. It wasn't threatening, not really, just too long. Like he wasn't looking at me. He was studying me. He turned away. I put my earbuds back in and went back to folding. Over the next hour and a half, the store emptied out. By 1 a.m., it felt like I was the last person left in the world. I moved over to appliances, had a cart full of boxed-up coffee makers and toaster ovens to stock. The aisles were quiet, fluorescent lights buzzing above. That's when I saw him. Just a shadow at first, through the gap in the shelves. A man, standing in the next aisle, watching me. I paused. He turned away quickly, but not before I recognized the face. It was him. Same guy from earlier. I blinked. What was he still doing here? He wasn't carrying anything. No cart, no basket, nothing. He hadn't been shopping. He'd been walking, lurking, watching me. I finished the shelf as fast as I could, wheeled the empty cart into the back, stayed in the stockroom for a while. Too long. Just scrolling on my phone, pretending I wasn't freaked out. But eventually, I had to go back out. So, I decided to switch departments, moved to grocery, hoping if he was following me, he'd lose track. I started restocking in the dairy section. Milk, yogurt, butter. The cold from the walk-in cooler crept through my sleeves. The hum of the fridges was so loud, it drowned out everything. And then the door slammed open. I ducked behind a tall stack of crates. Through a narrow gap in the boxes, I saw him. That same man. Inside the employee-only dairy cooler. He wasn't supposed to be there. No customers ever go back here. And this guy, he wasn't lost. He was looking for me. I held my breath. The refrigerators were loud, but I could still hear the crunch of his boots on the concrete. He wasn't rushing. He was scanning. He didn't call out, didn't say a word. He just moved through the maze of crates. Slow, measured, like he already knew I was there. I ducked my head behind a box full of eggs. My heart felt like it was vibrating in my throat. If he saw me, if he touched me. Then his footsteps stopped. I didn't dare lift my head, but I felt it. A presence. Close. Too close. And then he spoke. "There you are." I looked up, and he was right over the crate, smiling. That same, too long stare from earlier. Only now it wasn't curious. It was hungry. I screamed. He lunged forward, hand over my mouth, tried to muffle it, tried to silence me, but I didn't freeze. I shoved the crate of eggs up into his chest. They cracked open, splattering yolk and shells all over him. He stumbled back, looking down at the mess. I ran, hard. Out of the cooler, into the store. Didn't care about anything else. Just finding another human being. Eventually, I found someone, an older stock guy. His name tag said Bob. I was shaking, barely able to get the words out. "There's a man, in the cooler. He grabbed me. He's not supposed to be there." Before Bob could even react, the man walked up. Calmly. Completely different energy. Egg stains still on his shirt, but smiling, like nothing had happened. "Sorry about the scare," he said. "I'm with corporate, just doing overnight inspections. Wanted to make sure she wasn't slacking." Bob blinked, bought it, didn't even question him. I didn't buy it. "What's your name?" I demanded. He was already turning away. "Tom," he called over his shoulder, and just like that, he vanished down the aisle. The next morning, I called my manager. Her name's Margaret. She's tough but fair. I told her everything. About the guy, the cooler, the name Tom. She went silent. Then she said the words I already knew were coming. There was no corporate visit scheduled last night. No Tom on record. No inspection planned. And nobody from corporate would ever be in the building at 2 a.m. She promised to check the security footage, called me back 2 hours later. She sounded rattled. "He was watching you," she said. For hours. The cameras caught him, pacing the store, always one aisle away from where I was, lurking, tracking. It wasn't just that he followed me. He hunted me. The footage was turned over to the police. A report was filed, but they never found him. I told Margaret I couldn't do night shifts anymore. She understood. Now I work days, cashier, occasional stocking. Always near people, always in the light. But sometimes, when I'm alone in an aisle for just a little too long, I still feel it. That stare. Like he never left. Walmart's always been a strange place. People watching, weird outfits, midnight snackers arguing over chicken wings and pajamas. I've seen it all. But nothing prepares you for the moment one of those weirdos follows you home. It was the Thursday before Black Friday. The store was packed. Even at 11 p.m., it was chaos. I wasn't even there for the sales. I just needed a new laptop for school. And somehow, by pure luck, I grabbed the last one on the shelf with the Black Friday sticker. That's when I heard a voice behind me, loud, gruff, pushy. "Hey, I need that. I need it." I turned around. Big guy, greasy hoodie, face flushed, breath ragged. I apologized and told him it was the last one. He didn't like that. He started raising his voice, yelling, making a scene. "I said I need that! You think you can just take it like that?" People started looking. I didn't argue. I just walked away. Fast. He kept yelling. I could hear him following me for a bit. But I got in line, hugged the box tight. A couple people in line rolled their eyes, told me not to worry. "Nutcase," one lady muttered. Eventually, he disappeared. I paid, left, drove home. I live with my mom and younger sister. My dad stays with us sometimes, but not that night. It was just us girls. Everyone was asleep when I got home. I sat outside for a bit, near the pool, setting up the laptop. It was nice out. Cool breeze. Then the motion light on the side of the house clicked on. At first, I thought, no big deal. We have raccoons, possums. It happens. Still, I got up to check. Didn't see anything. But something about the air felt off. So, I went inside, locked the door, finished setting up the laptop in the living room. That's when my car alarm went off. I jumped up, ran to the window. Saw my Cadillac's lights flashing. I grabbed my keys, pressed the button from the inside. Didn't work. So I stepped out onto the porch. Clicked the remote again. Lights stopped. That's when I saw it. A car, parked just outside our house. Wasn't there before? Definitely didn't belong to anyone on our street. We live in a closed community. Big driveways. No one parks on the road. And in that car, someone was sitting. At first, I couldn't make out the face. Just a silhouette. Motionless. I went back inside, locked the door, then went to wake up my mom. She was half asleep until I told her there was someone outside. Then she was wide awake. We went to the front door together. She looked through the peephole and gasped. I looked too. It was him. The man from Walmart, standing right there on our front porch. I felt like my stomach dropped straight to the floor. Then the doorknob turned. He was trying to open it, rattling it, then pounding on the door. My mom backed away, panicked. My younger sister peeked out from the hallway. We told her to go back, to lock her door. My mom grabbed her phone and dialed 911. I could hear her voice shaking as she gave them our address. For a moment, it went quiet. No pounding, no rattling. Just silence. Then, a loud crash from the side of the house, the den. Glass shattered. My mom screamed. My sister started crying. I ran to the den and slammed the door shut, locked it. We all ran upstairs, waited. Nothing. No footsteps, no voices, just the sound of sirens approaching in the distance. Red and blue lights lit up the windows. We rushed outside to meet the police. 2 officers went into the house, guns drawn. It didn't take long. They found him. The man from Walmart, hiding behind the couch in the den. He screamed when they grabbed him, cursed at them, threatened me, said he just wanted to talk. They cuffed him, dragged him out. He kept yelling until the door of the squad car slammed shut. Both officers told us the same thing. He seemed unstable, probably high, maybe both. But he wouldn't be bothering us again. We pressed charges, filed the report. The window was replaced. The police made extra patrols for a few weeks, but the damage was already done. For weeks I couldn't sleep, jumped at every car door, stopped sitting outside alone. Sometimes I still think about it, how easy it was for him to follow me. How fast something random turned into something dangerous. So, next time you're laughing at the weirdos at Walmart, just remember, some of them follow you home.
I used to work night shifts at Walmart on weekends. It was my second job while I finished college. Needed the extra money for student loans. The work wasn't glamorous, mostly warehouse receiving and overnight shelf stocking. Shift started at 11 p.m. and ended at 7 a.m. But I liked it. No customers, just quiet aisles, fluorescent buzz, and a task list to burn through. Except for that night, July 9th, 2015. The one I still dream about sometimes. There were only 3 of us working that shift. Me, Alvin, and Baco. All of us in the same Navy staff shirts. I remember us clocking in together. I was assigned to electronics that night. It was around 1 a.m. when I noticed movement at the far end of the aisle. Someone walked past. Black clothes. Not a uniform. I figured maybe Alvin changed jackets or something. But when I called out, no answer. I checked around the corner. Nobody. It was weird, but not enough to freak me out. I got back to stocking. A few minutes later, crash. The sound of something hitting the floor 2 aisles over. I ran over and found a bicycle knocked clean off its display hook. The hook wasn't broken, and that bike had been hanging perfectly still 10 minutes earlier. It was like someone pulled it down on purpose. I hung it back up, then started walking the aisles. Slowly, listening. No one. Then I heard it. A laugh. Not playful, not friendly. The kind of laugh that crawls down your spine. It came from the cleaning supplies aisle. I stepped around the end cap and saw a man standing at the far end, all black clothes, back turned, but his head was twisted sideways, just enough to see me, just one eye. And then he ran, not toward me, just away. I didn't chase him. I went looking for Alvin instead. And that's when it all got worse. I found Alvin in the women's section. Told him there was someone in the building dressed in all black, probably not supposed to be here. He looked confused, said he hadn't seen anything, promised to let Baco know if he ran into him. We didn't have walkie-talkies that night, so we were basically stuck yelling across the store like kids. And me? I had to pee. I'd been holding it for over an hour, and at that point, I figured, whatever this was, I could spare 60 seconds to hit the bathroom. I went to the employee restroom in the warehouse section, built myself a paper seat cover, sat down, just trying to breathe. Reset, convinced myself I was being dramatic. That's when the door opened. I froze. Footsteps, slow, software, I called out. Hello? No answer. Just that horrible low laugh. Then, movement. A shadow filled the gap in the stall door. Not fully, just one eye again, staring through the crack. Then the eye leaned in, closer, until it was all I could see. I whispered, "What the hell?" And that's when the whispering started. Not words I could understand, just garbled sound, like a broken radio in a cave. That's when I remembered. I had Alvin's number. I pulled out my phone, called him, loud. "Alvin, get to the employee bathroom, right now. There's someone in here, I'm not joking." The eye vanished. Footsteps, fast this time, out the door. Alvin showed up maybe 20 seconds later. Didn't see anyone, didn't hear anything. But I wasn't going back out there alone. We spent the rest of the night stocking shelves together, never splitting up. The rest of the shift was a blur. We finished stocking, stayed together, and didn't talk much. I don't think either of us wanted to admit how shaken we were. The next morning, I texted my manager, told him the whole story, asked if we could check the cameras. He texted back a few hours later. All camera feeds from last night were static. No footage, no explanation. He said no one had turned them off. Nothing was unplugged, nothing was tampered with. Just static. He believed me. I think he did. But with no proof. What could he do? I never saw that man again. Never figured out who or what he was. But I do know this. That was the last night shift I ever worked. And to this day, when I pass aisle 19, I still feel like something is watching from the other side of the shelf. Not a ghost, not a customer, something that doesn't belong, but somehow got in. And maybe it's still there, waiting.